So check this out. It is the world's smallest and cutest stereo speaker tuner. So let's get a closer look. Here it is in all its wood grain glory. They really are kind of cool, the speakers and the actual tuner. This is a Regency compact radio stereo. It is model 2800. Quick look at the directions. The question is going to be, of course, will this thing work? I've been able to tune in a station. That seems like it shouldn't work that way. It's also only coming out of the left speaker, not the right speaker. Or perhaps it's coming out of the right speaker, not the left speaker. There's seemingly only one screw holding this together. Need to get into the seams and kind of pry it up, but once I got in on one corner, I was able to get it up, and now, oh, look at that. I want to lift the card out. I want to get to the potentiometer, especially for the volume. That sometimes can affect it going to two speakers. There's 1, 2, and 3 tabs holding it in. This is the volume. There's no real pot as I would expect it. So I'm going to unscrew this. So look at that. It's the world's cutest potentiometer. Find a spot to get some deoxit in there. The small screwdriver, I pushed back, I kind of loosened this bracket, I'm going to call it, in this bracket. I was able to get the blade in here and lift this up ever so slightly. And I've sprayed it with some deoxit, twisted the volume numerous times, sprayed it one more time. Again, it's a real small drop, by the way. And we'll see if that does anything for the volume, scratchiness, and we'll see if it actually then goes to the other speaker. A quick public service announcement to help prevent you from thinking you might be going a little loco. So I'm looking at this. This is the front, right? So this has got to be tuning. This has got to be the volume. What happened to the power switch? How did the power switch get to the back? That's no way. I could not have screwed that up. But then when you look at this, here's the power switch, and it does kind of go underneath the board and then hooks back in to this. So just so you don't think you're losing it. So it's working, but it's still not coming out of the speaker. Maybe a little bit less staticky. A couple stations came in a little bit better. So that's at least sounding better. The speaker, I figured out what it is. A ripped, disconnected wire. It's got a small little nub there, so I'm gonna have to try to potentially open this up so I can actually repair that. Just got a screwdriver into here. There's these 2 tabs, and so as long as you can kind of squeeze them out and over, you can get access to that, and I should be able to fix that wire. Used wire stripper and was able to strip off a little bit of the insulating plastic around and have the 2 wires exposed so that I can now reconnect them. So I got them spliced together. So that's good. So they're both working. So I used some heat shrink tube. I used the small size. I have it here to insulate that wire, and you use a little bit of a lighter to kind of warm it up and make it kind of melt into place. Tested it, and it's working. A couple of things to remember during reassembly. Make sure you get the card down underneath these 3 tabs. Don't forget to put the plate in place if it's fallen out. The other thing is there's a gear on the bottom of this tuner switch, and you want to make sure when you turn it, this moves. So there's the gear on the bottom of the tuner that has to fit on the other side of those orange teeth. And one more thing to test before you reassemble it is to make sure that not only does it move, but it has the full run all the way from the left all the way to the right. I don't actually know what was wrong, but when I first reassembled it, it would only go from here to here and it would stop. So I took it out, popped up the board, put this over here, and now it's working fine. So you may just have to play with it and make sure that this switch goes between these 2 posts so that when you turn it, it turns. When I first did it, this was kind of almost springy. It wasn't down securely. Now I have it down with all the pieces in place, and it feels nice and secure, so that's how it should feel. And these wires should be routed so that they come out around about here. There's going to be a slot here that those wires are going to pass through. So if they're coming out over here, you want to kind of move them so that they come out over here by this power adapter piece. I think you're better off reassembling this upside down, getting these into that slot, and then squeezing it together. They kind of want to ride up and out of there. So upside down, gravity kind of holds them in place for you a little bit. So it's working pretty good. Back together, reassembled. The reassembly is probably half the trouble. Please consider thumbs up and subscribing. Thanks for watching.